All right, Stephen and Honan coming to you live from the dining room,
The dining room.
where all things are discussed and thought through
And
and
all political views are accepted and debated with thoughtful care,
consideration,
yes, and consideration. We we don't kill anybody for their political views. As a matter of fact, I find them quite interesting.
as long as you're not screaming at us.
Yeah.
But
Or you don't
anyway,
run with scissors or something like that.
something like that.
We check all weapons at the door.
But anyway, we today we're talking about don't trust your health to your doctor, and there is a catch to that,
Yes.
meaning and there's a lot more to this, but we're kind of giving you a little bit of a thumbnail about what we've done with our lives. So as you get older, your body.
Well, let me just step back. We're speaking to the 50 plus crowd, and we're speaking about issues that matter to people over 50, not to the 30 somethings.
Although it does apply.
It does
It
apply.
does apply.
But I'm just making a statement.
Well, so
Sorry,
as
dear.
you get older, your body does not absorb nutrition the
Right.
way it did when you were younger. So in reality, as you get older, you need to step up your supplement program.
Right.
Because your nutrition, minerals, vitamins, amino acids are not in the food because they're not in the soil. Now, vitamins you can get from the vegetables, yes, but minerals, trace minerals, absolutely essential to your health.
Right.
And okay, we're going to just start out. In the last 50 years, heart attacks
Right.
dramatically, cancer. The doctors say everybody's going to get cancer.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, we're not. Alzheimer's, all time high. 40 years ago, it was unheard of. So things aren't getting
So
better.
crazy Aunt Mary didn't have Alzheimer's. She was just crazy.
Well, some
Probably.
people have dementia and all of that, but
Right.
the catch to all of this is that according to some doctors, and
And we're not saying all doctors are horrible.
no,
Or your doctor
but they're
in
not
particular.
trained in nutrition. They're trained how to give a drug to treat a symptom.
Right.
They don't treat the root cause, they treat your symptoms and they make your symptoms go away.
Right.
Now, it just this is just for and I've had this on just for thought. 440,000 people a year die, hospital error, or infections that are contracted in the hospital. Okay,
That's really shocking.
440,000 people. What does that figure out to a day? Over 1,000 people a day, 1,200 people a day die from medical error.
We
or,
happen to know some. Otto and Joyce's son.
Oh yeah,
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 medical error.
yeah.
And I think for us, we've always been, haven't believed that everything your doctor said is, or that he's God. And so for us, we're always trying to.
We're always questioning everything.
But I think this is what we're saying is you need to take charge of your own,
Health.
yes, your
Yeah.
own health, and
Yeah.
not just depend on your doctor. Is a lot of information out there that a classic doctor isn't going to tell you to do.
Okay. So, 440,000 people a year die. If 440,000 people a year died in plane crashes,
Yes.
do you think the airlines would still be in business?
No.
I don't think so. If 440,000 people died from eating McDonald's every year, would McDonald's still be in business? Absolutely not.
No.
Then why is this? That's a good question. I'm going to leave it up to you to answer. Now, the other thing that, so 2 years ago, Ann and I went on this sort of like a complete nutrition package.
Well, I would say for you 2 years ago, for me 18 months. I tend to resist.
So, That's why I look better than
It's
her.
true. It's true. You do look younger than me. Everyone always said that.
Yeah, right.
Go
So-
ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
You
you.
needed to correct me. I was wrong.
It's all right. That's why we've been married long.
So, so what we found out was that most medical conditions, now this is the opinion, but not only the opinion, but also research, thousands and thousands now of autopsies and, you know, testing and, you know, diagnosis and whatever. So that said, this isn't just some pop star that came up and said, I'm going to start a vitamin company and everybody's going to feel wonderful. This is real science, although it's not conducted, you know, with the double blinds and whatever. But the catch is,
think it's all how you feel.
right, but we're doing great. So you tell what's happened with you the last.
I would say my biggest issue in my life is I've always had really bad insomnia. And at 63, I've started to get some joint pain. So, and at CrossFit, I would have with my hand, actually, a lovely chiropractor woman that was at our CrossFit looked at my hand and said, you have a little bit of arthritis. So I started taking these, some of the things, it was
For joint pain.
for joint pain, and within a couple days it was gone. Now, I'm not saying I'm cured, but if as long as I take it, I feel really great. Then let's address the insomnia. Because I'm an insomniac and I'm a little OCD. I call it focus, but I think some people call it OCD, which is good for my profession. But I think things all night. And what the
When
thing,
she's awake.
no, I don't sleep a lot. So, yeah, when I'm awake
When you're not sleeping.
or mostly dead.
So
but anyway,
being awake or not sleeping are
right.
sort of the
So
same thing.
you know, I would get a
don't
couple
understand
hours sleep at night. But since I have slept. I'm starting to sleep. I sleep at least, I would say 6 to 9 hours every night. 7 hours is perfect. I prefer 8, but sometimes I get 9. So I am I think a testimony to people that really do have acute, yeah.
But everybody's different, and there are different
Right.
causes to the same, you know.
Plus,
the same.
my vitamin levels have always been low. And since I've been doing this regimen, I went to the doctor and did my physical, and the doctor said, what are you doing for your vitamin D? Because your levels are amazing. And that's pretty amazing for somebody in our age group to have, and especially in the Midwest where
Where there's no sun.
there's not a lot of sun. So that's changed for me. I think my recovery time, just feel like a different person. I've switched.
Her name used to be Eleanor.
85 now. I'm 63, but I think for us the regiment that we're doing works really well, and some of the other people in our life that are doing the same thing, like one of my friends at work, her hair is growing back. She used to have horrible skin. Her skin is beautiful. There's a million things that have changed in her life. And it's like she's 50 plus. But what we're saying is you get to a certain age where you want
Well,
to try and reverse the aging
Right. All this stuff.
without getting Botox or a
Right.
facelift.
Without
All right, I'll get my
this,
eyes
when
down.
you get older, it's like the neglect starts not having the right,
Right.
or enough nutrition.
Watching it with you. But now it's changed.
I was shrinking, the
you were-
incredible shrinking man.
Well, I mean, I had 5 children, so I was severely depleted of all of the nutrients in my body. What does that
And
mean?
depleted of all sanity. And
Well, that goes without saying when you have lots of kids. But I think this has changed our life. I mean, I cannot believe the change.
no, we do believe it.
No, the change that has happened in Steve. He kind of went from this sluggish.
Fat old man.
Well, you weren't fat, but I would say
No.
you had no testosterone.
Well, we don't know about that, but
Well, it
one
was
of
limited.
the things that they suggested doing and here's just another little caveat. Cholesterol, that evil thing that everybody talks about that you don't want, it is absolutely essential for your health. I mean, your whole brain runs on cholesterol.
Yeah.
You take cholesterol out of the picture, and you know what happens?
You get Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
Yep, that's
okay.
true.
The other
Is it
fact,
Alzheimer's or old timers?
it could be either.
I'm not sure. I
But the
never
other
know.
thing is, your hormones are all made up from cholesterol. You know what happens when you take cholesterol out of the program? Well, you get.
Okay, you're not supposed to share things.
But I mean, how many commercials a day you hear about ED or low T? So, just to throw out what happened.
Have some eggs.
I was not even. I did a test a couple of years ago, and the doctor said that my testosterone was a little bit low. But somebody suggested that you want to boost that, so I started eating at least 2. They said eat 6 to 10 eggs with the runny yolks a day, or raw. I can eat them raw, put them in a shake. But the difference in just a couple of weeks, and the crazy thing is that CrossFit, I had been working out for
This is not like that. This is.
well, it never really was like that, but
You
now
became
it's
20 again. I'd
right.
say,
I mean,
yeah.
it.
And we're not
changed
trying
it.
to be tacky, tawdry,
But
tasteless.
Working out,
Gross.
when I started the egg program and
Yeah.
started doing, I could not believe the difference. And I'm 62, that I was starting to develop muscle that I hadn't been developing in the other 4 years when I
Right.
was working out 3 or 4 times a
Right,
week.
yeah.
So cholesterol, it's testosterone builds muscle, and it's just like it's in the refrigerator. It's not a pill that you buy. Just start eating the eggs.
You're not passionate about this, are you?
No,
I didn't think so.
but it's
Well, we're not doctors.
right. So we're not curing anything, or what do they call it? You can't cure or diagnose. We're not diagnosing anything. But it's sort of like
We're just telling our
Most
testimony.
people have brains,
Right.
and you have the internet. Now, granted, you can't believe everything you read, but there is a
You
lot.
can't?
You
believe
shouldn't.
everything.
Or shouldn't you?
I haven't watched the news in so long because I don't believe anything they say either.
Well, that's another story
is
altogether,
true.
but that's not the same thing. But the catch to it is taking, and especially at our age, taking our health into our own hands and saying, we need to address the issues. And when you have a problem, I mean, one of the big things for me is before I started on the program, joint pain. Now, granted, I didn't have arthritis, but it was just like, ow, every time you get out of the car, when you get up in the morning. I don't have that anymore. I go to CrossFit. I ran 1.5 miles this morning. Now my foot is a little bit sore, but that has nothing to do with joint pain. That's just my shoes weren't running shoes. But anyway, that's another story altogether.
I told
So
you
anyway,
I should have worn them, but
that said, if you want information, just drop a comment below, say send me more, and we'll get you everything you need to
I
know.
think if I was in my 30s, it would have been really smart to have begun doing this
Oh,
because I think
absolutely.
we would be so far ahead of the game. And I mean, I don't know a lot of people that are 60s that do CrossFit,
Let me
but
in
I'm
it-
going to attest to the fact that this has kept us able to do it.
Okay, another really huge deal is autism. Used to be 1 in 10,000, now it's 1 in 80. What is that about? I mean, that's like
I mean, it's a mineral deficiency,
right.
right?
Yeah, it's
Because
a
people aren't
deficient.
getting-
They're not getting the nutrition. So
And as a pregnant woman, you know, I
you're
feel
pregnant.
I could be. As a pregnant woman, because you're eating eggs. As a pregnant woman, or as a woman being pregnant, a lot of times, each time that you have a baby, your body gets depleted.
Absolutely.
And I never even understood that. And I think back in the, you know, the dark ages where there was no fire or
That's when we got married.
electricity,
Right.
and I think you had to feel your way in the dark. I'm not sure, but
You
anyway,
always have to feel your way in the dark,
but
even with electricity.
I think
We felt like we were in the dark.
I think we
Were we
did.
in the dark?
We were in the dark about a lot of things.
That's true.
Unfortunately, that's why we had 5 kids. True story. But anyway, that's a story for another time. But I think take charge of your life. Don't depend on
The doctor does not have all the answers.
No.
He can only manage your disease.
right.
He's not, I mean, except for penicillin that cures a bacterial infection, correct?
Yes.
Or viral? Bacterial.
yes.
The penicillin, absolutely necessary.
And I love Pepto-Bismol when your stomach is upset.
Yeah.
That's a
but
good thing.
there's so much information available. Do your research.
Yes.
If you want to know what we know, drop a comment below. We'll get it to you big time.
Yeah.
That
Sounds like a
said,
plan.
thanks for watching. You guys are amazing. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.